friends, welcome back to another episode of Getting Close Up, the show focused on independent artists and creatives. I'm your host, Danielle Cox, and since you're here, go ahead and click that like button. Also subscribe and ding the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Join the GCU fam today and help us to bring more artists to you like the one I have with me today. He is fresh out on the scene, but he's been working it like he's been out here the whole time. He's a singer, songwriter, and producer. Today we're getting close up with Baby Augi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful, windy spring winter day.
Yes. Yes.
Here in the middle of the country.
Yes, I almost got blown off the highway coming here. Yes.
Then that's facts.
Yes.
It's crazy. I can't wait to start to talk about your story with you because I've seen you perform first, and that's actually how we ended up getting you on the show. So I already know what you're capable of. I know what you can do. But what's funny is you didn't start out wanting to be in music. That's crazy to me. Tell me about that.
Yeah, not at all. Started off, I wanted to do sports. I always had a dream of playing football. And when I got to high school, I started changing. And, it didn't really have a desire to play football. And I was kind of stuck in my senior year. And so basically, I just remember in language arts class, we started doing poetry. And every single class, I would come up with new poetry, and I would impress my teachers and classmates. And my teacher, she told me one day, you need to keep writing because you're gonna make money off of this one day. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how was getting that encouragement? What did that do for you?
It inspired me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time with the writing, but it gave me encouragement. Maybe I should pursue this more, especially after not wanting to play sports, and trying to find myself, as an adult. So
yeah, it's so funny you say that because as an adult, because technically when you hit 18, everybody says, "Oh, you grown now."
Right.
But y'all technically still a kid though, in a lot of ways, and that pivotal year, senior year, where they force you to look down the barrel of life and know exactly what you're going to do with it. That's when those big moments happen. So you went from doing sports this whole time to tapping into something that you really hadn't even known was there.
No.
And it just came out in class.
Well, actually, there was little hints of there. I used to sing in a choir.
Oh, okay.
For church, and I still do. I just been doing it, but I never really took singing serious, until basically my senior year, I started writing, and then just started putting poetry in motion, and then that's where I'm in now.
And with the whole thing of being in choir, if you a kid that grows up in church, you're gonna be doing something.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be on that children's choir first.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
You're gonna be doing something, whether you
Right.
want to sing or not. You singing.
Right.
So is your family very musical?
Yes. They're very musical. They don't really judge when it comes to music. If they ask somebody asks them hey, what's your favorite genre? They wouldn't have one because we think good music is good music.
Oh, okay.
So whatever genre, if it's good beat, good lyrics, good rhythm, and meets all the qualities of a good song, we don't really discriminate.
Yeah. So is other people in your family that sing?
Well, actually, my uncle, he's a performer. Well, he used to be a performer. He used to go by Showtime. And I watched him growing up, on stages.
You looked up to him?
Basically, he performed everywhere, America's Got Talent, everywhere.
Oh, okay.
He's done really big things. And so, he kind of walked so I can run, you know?
Yeah.
So, he kind of set the stage up for me. So, and then everybody else in my family, my mom's side, grandma, can sing, you know what I'm saying? That's where I get the voice, I
been
wouldn't get the voice
them your whole life.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up in church, you know what I'm saying? Hear them, sing. So yeah.
And so what were some of your other musical influences, artists that you listen to and things like that?
Yes, at the time, especially when I was writing poetry, I really liked Juice WRLD because at the time, I was going through a rough stage in my life. And I was kind of spending a lot of time alone, especially when I was playing football. As a student athlete, you go to school, after school you go to practice. After practice, homework. You barely have time, to spend with people you love.
Socializing and stuff.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have that short time, and sometimes I can get to you. Not seeing the people that you love and stuff like that. And basically, like, you know, I dealt with, you know, depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And I know what it's like to like, you know, be sheltered and like, you know, be socially anxious
Yeah.
and stuff like that because, you know, people go through rough times, you know, in their life. And sometimes like we kind of trick ourselves into thinking like we're alone, but sometimes we're really not. You
No,
know?
because you got a decent sized family.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Support is phenomenal. Like,
And
yes.
then thinking back, because the whole pandemic's got everybody messed up time wise.
Yes.
Like it's basically the error in the timeline. So how did that line up with you graduating? So like, was that during the pandemic
like
years for
it
you?
was crazy. So basically, like the pandemic happened right when spring break happened. So like right when I left for spring break, I never came back to school. Like that was the
And
last
that's
time.
a huge component. People take for
Right.
granted how that affected having a social, everything is kind of built around the social structure of school for everybody, especially somebody your age. That's the only thing that you're doing. And then that happened and everything stops.
Yes.
So that can affect you a lot. So is that where, because you also, I mentioned that you're a producer, that you produce music. What type of things, a lot of people I talk to, a lot of artists I talk to, they started learning different skills during the pandemic when they didn't have anything else to do.
Right.
Talk to me about that. Was there anything new that you learned about yourself that you could do or taught yourself in that time?
Yes, that's when I really fell in love with music. That's where I really started because I had all the time by myself. Like I was just writing and I would actually like put like my writing and poetry like online, like with like poetry groups and stuff like that. And like, you know, getting encouragement
like
from them.
online, other people you can share your poetry with.
Yeah, like I feel like the site's called allpoetry.com.
Oh, okay.
And where like, you know, where you share, you know, your body of work where, you know, for poetry, any type of style. And you can join groups and like they'll give you feedback. And
That is really useful.
yes, it's very useful. And like, you know, with that really helped me like kind of geared into the music because I always really liked music. And whenever I hear a beat, especially like, you know, melodic beat like Juice WRLD, or, you know, if I hear somebody like similar to like a really good beat with nice 808, hard hitting drums, nice melodies, like
That does it for
like
you.
yes, like it does something to people. Like it really does. Like it really is a good feeling. Like how it empowers people. Music, yeah,
And
it really do.
So that, you know, I see now the big picture of it, of how being in school, having a point in your life where everything's changing, everything's getting thrown up in the air, you're having to make decisions about your life, you get into a new art form, the pandemic is happening. That's just so many things at once.
Yes.
A lot of your songs, when I listen to the lyrics of your songs, they're very personal. And you mentioned earlier about dealing with anxiety and depression and issues. Now that you're out performing, because you only really been performing for like about a year or two.
Under a year.
Under a year. Yeah. Wow. What is it like to be performing material that is so personal and about the things that you were going through when you're still kind of going through them?
It's really amazing. Like that's the whole reason why I started music to like impact somebody. Like because like that's what music did to me.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like it gave me purpose and like it helped me like get through tough times. Like when like, you know, I didn't have like when, you know, when life puts you in situations where you feel alone and like sometimes all you have is music and stuff, like, you know, to get you
to
through
calm
something.
you and to bring you back down.
Right. So I feel like that's what, to me personally, what music's all about is touching somebody. And like, if I can, like, if there's only like one person out there, like, that likes my music or like that feels like, man, like I relate to this, like, man, this helps. Like, I feel like I done my job. So.
Yeah, because other artists that you mentioned that you're into, like Trippie Redd, for instance.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his lyrics, sometimes they're kind of like people get jarred by it, like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, because his lyrics are about things that people think about, might not say out loud.
Right.
And it's a lot about feelings. I know you kind of described yourself a little bit emo with the hip hop and stuff like that. So talk to me a little bit about the connection to your experiences and your lyrics and what it's like for you to connect with people on that.
For me, like my lyrics is like a way for me, like almost like a venting or like therapy to me, because music is very therapeutic, you know, when I'm on the mic and like, and I'm like spinning how I feel, like, because sometimes like, you know, I'm like, I'm like antisocial. Like I don't really like to talk to a lot of people. So like music is like a way to express myself. And sometimes I feel like, if I say something, like it doesn't sound right. So like I feel like I can get my point across with music, and I feel like it's a way to express myself.
And how has that helped your confidence in performing?
Oh, it empowered me, to see people in the crowd, jamming, and see my people singing my lyrics and stuff like that. It really means a lot because it's bigger than me,
Exactly.
Because it's I'm helping people, not just myself, but if there's somebody out there that can relate to me, hey, this dude's going through this too. I can maybe do this. I can maybe make it too. Just try to empower people.
It becomes more than just something to vibe to. It's really reaching them.
Right. Yes.
And touching back on your family, because I do want to talk about them again. Because like I said, I've seen you perform, and when you perform, you want to talk about a family that comes out.
Yes.
They show up.
Yes, they support.
They know the lyrics to your songs. They all got their cameras out. They taking 6 different angles of the same same performance. They don't even care.
That's what I'm saying. That's the funny thing. My mom, she's like, man, I'm gonna have to stop recording because every time she records, she be singing along with it, so nobody can hear the audio. I was like, yeah. But
that's such a mama thing to happen.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my family because they really been supporting me all the way with music. Something that is new and I never really thought of growing up. So for them to support me 100%, I really appreciate that.
And not a lot of artists have that. Yeah. You went through a whole period where you felt like you were alone, and that's coming out of those things is about recognizing where the lie is and then telling yourself the truth.
Yes.
So the lie was that you were alone and you didn't have anybody, but the truth is you had a lot of people. Right. And then when you put yourself out there and performing, it allows them to come show up for you to just reinforce that truth, which keeps you, above, helps you be above the anxiety, helps you be above the depression. That these things is like you said, it's an illness, it's not a choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And tying back to that, because that is something that you kind of refer to because you put out some merch.
Yes.
And so what's the symbolism of the 777?
777 is, I feel because it's a personal meaning to me because I was born on August 7th.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But I feel like I'm 7 because lucky, because I'm lucky to be alive because stuff that I went through, I'm proud to, of where I am today, I'm just thankful that, I wake up to, and I get another chance to do what I love and, tell people that I love them,
Yeah.
Because people take that, they take that for granted every single day.
They do. And a lot of people just don't have it. They don't have people that back them up. So it's awesome.
Yes.
Now, the thing about it is the connection between the support that you have and your relatability in your songs has opened up a lot of opportunities for you. Amazing opportunities. So let's talk about that a little bit because you get solicitations quite regularly to be featured on radio stations, have your music featured on radio stations that aren't even in this country.
Yes.
What is that?
It's really surreal because I remember the first radio station I ever was on. It was in Mexico City, and I just remember I just submitted my music and I was I'm just submit it, see what they say, and then I got a response back. They said, "Man, we love it," and we added to the rotation. Told me what time it was. And man, it was a surreal moment because you grow up as a kid, you listen to music on the radio, but then you hear yourself, your voice, what you go through, express, all on the radio. That's pretty special to me.
What killed me is the fact that I don't know if many people think about having their music on foreign radio stations.
Yes. Reaching
out to cause a lot of things that we've talked about before on this channel is about how difficult it is for artists to get on the radio. Right. And matter of fact, this show was going to be a radio show at one point in the very beginning. But for you to say, okay, well, let me reach out to Mexico City. Let me talk to these people in India.
Right.
And they're putting your music on and it's getting rotations and people are following you and people are reaching out to you and saying how much they love your music and they don't even speak the same language as you.
Yes, that's a funny story actually, because I actually had somebody that reached out to me. They were speaking in Portuguese.
Oh, wow.
And because they're from Brazil, because like I had a radio station there that played my song. It was like I had to translate it in Google because I don't know, like, because like I grew up, I only know like little Spanish, but Portuguese, like that's
Yeah,
I was like, thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I typed it back saying, man, thank you so much, like, but I had to translate it back because it's so crazy, like how like when you put your music out online. Who it can reach, you never know who can
You have
like come
no
across.
idea who it reaches.
Right.
Like I think we put up walls in our mind just because we don't understand how far things could reach.
Right.
Like we have limits on what we think we can do, and we don't understand that the internet is available to everybody.
It makes it so much smaller. The world is so much smaller with the internet. Like you can, talk to somebody across the world, they don't even speak the language or, they don't know your culture or anything, but they hear your music online and then they reach out. Like that's pretty special.
That was wild to me. And another opportunity came up is the unsigned talent competition. Yes. You got some people to like spam this page that Benzino has set up to try to get unsigned artists on it where he can listen to your music and give you feedback.
Man, that was so crazy. Like
that's wild.
Like that whole setup, like just thank you to Chris Hayes, like shout out Chris Hayes. He really set that up and like he really like believed in, like he heard like my song. Yeah. I sent him my YouTube link and he like was like, really, like you only have like 8 views on YouTube? Like is this really you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, hey man, I'm gonna be with Benzino and like we're gonna like do a live reviewing music. Like, hey, I want you to join. It's gonna people be there to follow you. They're gonna let you know like if your music's hot or not. Wow. And so and I remember it like it was like just the day of. So I remember right that night. Hopped on.
You was ready to go.
I was like, cause like growing up, like you see Benzino like on Love and Hip Hop Source Awards, like I mean like running the game since I was even born. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, and like to hear feedback from him and positive reviews, like that's
all that artists want is they want to get that feedback from somebody that knows the business. You know what I'm saying? So what did that do for you? Like as far as the exposure of your music?
Oh, it first of all, it's like a boost of confidence, first of all. Yeah. But second of all, like, it led me to a lot of connections too, because I had a couple followings and people who like networked with me like through that. So it was a really good like experience, not only just talking to somebody who I've pretty much, looked up to, like, for like, since I was a kid, know, and then like having an audience like review it as well, like, it was so real. I was really
and getting
nervous.
Good feedback. That's just like gotta make you feel like you're on top of the world.
Yes.
That's crazy. So let's talk about what's coming up. So Leo's Lone Star, the album that you're putting together, is not yet come out yet. Is that correct?
No, that's coming out on my birthday, August 7th. That's just the collective.
Okay.
I have a lot more projects in store, but that is my collective album for like all my songs that I started off with. So like all the songs, like my first song, like I sent to my parents, Arch Nemesis. That one, like stuff that I started off with, like it's a collective. It's like a celebration album, of like the first years of me starting music. So like a kind of like a collective.
And most people wait until after they put some stuff out and then go back. It's like, nah, I've been doing this for long enough. A lot of songs that I've been putting out, and this is my journey.
Yes.
And so the songs didn't all come out at the same time or even recorded at the same time, but you're putting them together as a compilation of your journey and the start of your journey.
Yes, it's like I think
it's a really awesome concept.
Yes, it's like almost like an era, of music, and
an era.
Yes, and that first era, then wait until next in store, for the next one.
So talk to me about what's next.
I have so many projects and so many different styles and so many different like avenues like I want to go to, because like I said, we don't really judge music off of this is country, we don't like this, you know what I'm saying? If it's a good song,
it's a good song.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to express my artistic freedom as an independent artist and show my deep knowledge and love for music as far as, exploring different avenues not just only hip hop, not just pop, R&B, but like, you know, I just recently made a country release, Small Town Girl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I just released that, just exploring different avenues because I don't want to limit myself because, especially being an independent artist, like I don't think I have any walls as an artist. You know?
Exactly. That's what we were talking about. Why limit yourself?
Right.
You know, the only person that can do that is you. Yes. So if you've got that in you and these are the things that you like, there's no reason to not go ahead and do it. So is there anything else that you are learning now? Because you started on the journey of learning to produce your own music and things like that. Has there been anybody else that you've learned from and new things that you're learning currently?
Just right now, I'm working on the art of performing, and because I've been working for my music as far as producing, mixing, and mastering for about a year or two now. But I really started off with mixing and mastering because I really thought it was really convenient and really good of me to understand what I want for, you know, my project, because it's always nice to have like somebody in the room with you, but like to know what you want, like nobody can like express that but you. Yeah. And like I feel like with me learning it on my own, I feel like it gave me that artistic freedom to like, oh, like let me try this, and you know, like I know what I want, you know, when I hear it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like, you have this song that you've worked on and then like kind of like hand your baby to somebody else, you know, for the mixing. Like a lot of artists have expressed they have a difficult time with that. Yes. Because even if the ones who do know how to do some production work, they might hate mixing.
Right.
Like absolutely hate it, don't have the patience for it, but maybe they just still want to understand the process so they know what to ask for or know how to collaborate with somebody. Yes. Rather than just giving it off, and then when it comes back, you don't necessarily know if those changes had to be made or you know what I'm saying, or somebody else was taking creative liberties.
Exactly. Like,
so if you understand it, you can kind of be able to tell.
That's right.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, you know, as far as like mixing and mastering, like it's two separate things in itself. Yeah. But learning mixing first was probably like one of the funnest things I ever done.
Oh, so you enjoy it?
I love mixing because like, you know, it's just fun because like I could do it for hours. It's like I don't see it as like a job or like something like I have to do this. So I'm like, I could do this for hours, and like, you know, they'd be like, wait, where did you go? Like I'm just, you know, still mixing because like, you know, I love it. I have a passion for it, and you know, when you have passion for something, you don't see it as a job.
No, you don't see it as a job. You don't see it as work. It's what you want to do to make your dreams happen. Right. So talking about your dreams, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
5 years? Yeah. At least I want to be nominated for a Grammy. That's a big goal.
That's how you do it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Like, most times when I ask people that question,
like I'm just like cut, you know,
just cut to it. I want to be nominated for a Grammy.
Like, cause like right. You know, as far as me as an artist, like I know what I can do, but I feel like as far as the world knows what I can do, I feel like nobody even got into the intro of it, like right. You know, it's like
this ain't even. It's just the intro.
I'm just exploring, you know, like the iceberg, you know.
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg.
Right. We're just getting started. So like, I'm just so excited for, you know, what's the story. So
yeah. Yes. So you got other projects that you're working on. Is another specific album that you're working on?
I don't want to say anything because you know, I'll probably get in trouble if I say, you know, anything. So I'm gonna keep that on the hush for now. Okay. But just keep it tuned. So. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. So, a secret project under construction currently. Yes. And then just more opportunities in performing.
Yes. And then, of course, you know, collaborations as well. Shout out to all the artists that I work with as well.
Yeah, you can definitely mention them. Go ahead.
Yeah. I know my feature right now with Maybach, 44 LA. He's an artist in Kansas City too, and we actually went to the same high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so he did music. He does music too, and he was, you know, doing music, and you know, he mixes his own stuff, and like he was like, hey man, like, you know, we should really get on the song together, like, you know, because we was cool in high school, mutual, but then like we made the song together, and then it's like, man, like we became like friends, you know what I'm saying? Because like we performed together that song. Like, you know, it's really cool, like, meeting other people who likes the same thing as you.
Yeah, the independent artist community is so important because unlike, like you have your family that really backs you up, but for a lot of artists, the other artists in the community become their kind of chosen family. It's who shows up for them at different performances. That's who shows up for them when they need something, that somebody else just really can't do for them because they don't understand, because they're not walking in that same path. Right. So making connections in that is just super, super important, because it really ties back to what we were saying earlier of how that helps you keep your head above water. Like, the truth is, you have people out here that the same desires, the same drive, and want to see you succeed. Yes. And I definitely want to see you succeed. I'm so happy that you're doing what you're doing, and that you didn't just end up, not that being in the NFL is bad, but you just didn't end up in the NFL somewhere.
Right, because who knows what I would have done, but I kept on doing it. But things happen, and stuff happens for a reason. I wasn't really getting it at the time. I was like, man, why is this all happening to me at once? And especially like you said with the quarantine, it felt like the world was just ending at the point.
It felt like it completely ended.
You just really you was just trying to find, especially with me, coming out of high school, with, having to stay at home and, being, inside and, no, so, it really takes a toll on you. So, just, I understand, so.
Yeah. So, right now, what I want is to have you tell everybody where they can find you, where they can keep up with you, where they can find your music. So go ahead and let them know.
My music's on all platforms under Baby Augi. That's BabyAugi. And I'm on all platforms. You can find me at Instagram, Facebook, any of your social platforms, X. Just search them Baby Augi. And follow me. Show some love. I'll show some love to you. So thank you.
Nice. And you know what? I think I just made a connection. So your birthday's in August. Is that where Baby Augi comes from?
Pretty much. Yes, yes.
Why am I just now realizing?
Yes, people ask, where do you get Augie from? And that's where it comes from, because I was born in August. And I go with the analogy, it's one of the hottest months of the, year. I'm going to try to be the hottest artist of the game. So,
I'm going to let you have it. I'm a July Leo. So,
okay.
I'm not too far from you. I'm July 28th.
Still Leo gang. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Leo gang.
Oh, yeah, no, I see you. Yeah.
So, you know how we are. We just going to go ahead and show up and show out. We like to be
out
front.
You know how we do.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And everybody, just to let you know, the links that he gave will be down in the description box. Definitely check him out. Check out his music. It's so awesome. If you had as much fun as we did today, make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe, so we can keep bringing it to you. New episodes of Getting Close Up air bi-weekly on Fridays. And also make sure to check out GCU Reviews with me and D. We'll give you the tea on what's hot and what's not. As always, you guys are the best part of this whole thing. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another Close Up. I'll be checking for you. Bye.